My relationship with the MCU is very toxic and very abusive because I always have one foot out of the door and one foot in the door at the same time. Every single time the MCU releases a project, whether it's a live action movie or TV show or an animated movie and TV show, I always have the self-doubts that, man, is this show slash movie going to be mid? Is this show slash movie going to be peak? Or is it going to be ass? And we have seen the most recent MCU track record. Every time they release a project, it's always a big bumpy roller coaster ride, because you can go from peak projects like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or Shang-Chi, and even Spider-Man No Way Home is pretty good as well, but then you can completely nosedive into horrendous and disgusting projects like Echo, She-Hulk, the Marvels. The endless list just goes on and on and on. But it seems that every single time I see an MCU project, I always feel the need to just give up, to just call it quits, because sometimes the MCU is so frustrating when you want to defend it, you want to love it, you want to support it, but it seems that the writers and the producers at the MCU, they do not want you to support their projects by making their projects so deplorable and so distasteful. So I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. When Captain America Brave New World dropped, I was really about to call it quits. I was about to resign my position of an MCU defender until I actually realized and remembered that Daredevil Born Again is actually around the corner. And I was actually thinking to myself, I had to do some real big soul searching, and I had to conclude to myself, and I had to tell myself that, look, if Daredevil Born Again flops or its ass, I am fully done with the MCU. I am fully done with Marvel projects in general. But thank God, thank the heavens, it seems that Kevin Feige has heard our complaints. It seems that Kevin Feige and every single writer at the MCU and every single person that is overseeing Daredevil Born Again, they had to lock in, because they're realizing that the public support of the MCU is waning. There are a lot of fans that do not like the MCU right now, and since that they dropped Daredevil Born Again, I'm gonna tell you this right now, I think this show is going to do a lot of great damage support and a lot of great damage control, because this show is so good that I think, in my honest opinion, this show can actually steer Marvel in the right direction, because Marvel has been so clueless. They have been so lost in terms of the MCU. But this show is actually bringing you back to the peak era of the MCU. Even though Daredevil in Netflix originally wasn't really set in the MCU, that show in 2016, 2017, and 2018, that show was so great and it was so peak. In my honest opinion, it's still the best Marvel slash superhero live action show in history. And now that the Netflix Daredevil series is actually integrated into the MCU, we can call this an MCU project right now. So since this is an MCU project, this show, Daredevil Born Again, is actually really peak. I'm not even gonna lie, I can't cap. We are just 2 episodes in right now, and damn, I was at the edge of my seat throughout the entire 2 episodes. I was biting my nails, I was biting my skin, I was nearly ripping out my hair. I was actually about to crash out, because I was realizing that, damn, this show is so great. This show is actually really good. It nearly made me shed a lot of tears, man. It nearly made me emotional, especially with what we saw in the first 20 minutes. I was like, whoa, did they actually go that route? And they did go that route. You're probably asking, yo, big bro, what are you talking about? What happened in the first 20 minutes of Daredevil Born Again that is so great that it nearly made you crash out and turn into a crash test dummy? And the first episode begins when we see Daredevil, Foggy, Kirsten, and Karen. They're all going out to get some drinks and to hang out and to mingle with each other. You know, they're just trying to live a normal life after all the crazy and hectic things that has been happening in their lives. But as they're hanging out, we're seeing that Matt, he is actually trying to get closer with Karen, and they're trying to strengthen their relationship. And Foggy is also trying to get closer with Kirsten as well. So it seems that their two-man is actually working and is actually going according to plan, but their two-man is interrupted when Foggy, he has to take an unexpected call outside, and as Foggy is taking this call, he is sounding more nervous every single time he's talking. He's basically telling this person, okay, look, you know, I have everything that's secured, and when we're hearing how Foggy is sounding, he is sounding like he's about to have a nervous breakdown. So Daredevil, his hearing is so strong due to him being blind, so he basically has super hearing, so he easily hears this conversation that is going on, and he now immediately gets concerned. He now goes outside to Foggy, and Karen follows Daredevil as well. He now asks Foggy, yo, what's going on, what's happening? And Foggy tells Matt that, look, okay, I have someone that is actually hiding in my house, and I didn't really want to tell you because I didn't want to make you so worried, but that is what's happening right now. But then as the call is going on, we're hearing that this person is seemingly getting attacked by someone, by some unknown assailant, and this person is about to die right now. So Daredevil, he wastes no time and he now springs into action. He goes to the same hideout that Foggy hid this unknown victim, but when Daredevil reaches the hideout, he realizes something that is so drastic that it will completely change every single main character and supporting character thus far. It will destroy all of their lives, because when Daredevil, he realizes that no, this was a wild goose chase. I was actually supposed to not be here. Whoever is attacking this person wanted me to stay clear of the location, to stay clear of the bar, because this assassin, this unknown assailant, has a much more darker and more disturbed plan. Because when we now go back to the bar, we see that Karen, Foggy, and they're still outside basically trying to figure out what to do, but then gunshots start to ring out, and when these gunshots are ringing now, we're seeing that whoever is the sniper that is shooting at these people, he is so swift, he is so elegant, and he is so precise. But if you know the comics, if you know the 616 comics, and if you know an assassin that is so precise, that is in the same category of Daredevil, that is actually a nemesis to Daredevil, you would actually put two and two together and you will realize that, oh shit, this is Bullseye. And when we see Bullseye is sniping everyone, and he snipes Foggy as well. Let me talk about Bullseye's suit right now. You know, I know that in the 616 comics there is a suit that looks like the suit that is in the Daredevil Born Again series. I am not mad at the suit right now. I hope that this is a temporary suit right now for Bullseye, but I wish that the Daredevil Born Again series and the MCU can give Bullseye his comic accurate costume, his classic black and white comic accurate costume. That costume, in my honest opinion, is peak. But man, the characterization of Bullseye so far is so great. This dude is a menace, and I will tell you how he is a menace, because when he shot at Foggy instantly is in critical condition. Foggy, there is no chance, no hope to save Foggy. So when Daredevil, he now drops down to the location, coincidentally and simultaneously, Bullseye, he is throwing gas bombs, he's throwing all these smoke bombs, trying to cause chaos and panic so that there will be a large mist so no one can see him killing people. Bullseye is going on a killing rampage. He is trying to kill everyone. He just successfully killed Foggy, and now he is killing everyone that is in this bar. When people are running away, he is just throwing katanas, he is throwing his weapons at them, and it was so crazy that when Daredevil touches back down to the location, the fight with Daredevil and Bullseye was so crazy. I was like, damn, these niggas are actually 10 out of 10 chefs. These niggas need to open a restaurant and sell whatever they're cooking to the civilians of New York, because man, whoever was writing and producing these fight scenes, they need a raise, in my honest opinion, because as both of them are fighting, they're just throwing whatever, they're throwing anything they can find at each other. But simultaneously, Daredevil, the Satan that he is, I think Daredevil could be Satan's greatest soldier. We'll have to see in this season, because Bullseye, he is not only trying to kill Daredevil, Bullseye is throwing katanas, throwing mini knives at everyone else. He's trying to kill everyone as the same time he's trying to kill Daredevil. So Daredevil, he gets more angrier. He is trying to just beat the shit out of Bullseye. For the majority of the fight, Daredevil was beating the shit out of Bullseye, even though Daredevil was hurt as well. So then this fight, it goes all the way up to the rooftops, and then when it hits the rooftops, we now actually see that Foggy is officially dead, because we hear Karen's loud cries of anguish. And once Daredevil hears this, they are both bloody, they are both battered, and Bullseye is beaten. Daredevil just pounded on Bullseye, and he now grabs Bullseye. He screams at him. He asks, why did you do this? And Bullseye did not even show any remorse. He just smirks and laughs at Daredevil's face. So Daredevil, man, this nigga just crashed out. This nigga just did not care anymore, man. His best friend Foggy just died due to a maniacal assassin. So Daredevil, he broke his no-kill rule. Daredevil broke the rule that he swore he would never break, and he did that by pushing Bullseye off of the building, attempting to kill Bullseye. But remember, the thing about Bullseye is that right now, currently, he did not die, because his bones were actually strengthened in the Daredevil Netflix series, so that this causes Bullseye to not die. So when this happens, we see that a whole year has passed. Daredevil has vowed to never become a vigilante again. He has vowed to never put on that mask again, because he broke his no-kill rule. He broke the very rule that he swore he would never ever break. And this is causing Hell's Kitchen to just turn into a chaotic frenzy. It's turning into a chaotic hell point that it has caused Kingpin to come to Hell's Kitchen to start running for mayor. And remember, the last time we saw Kingpin was when he got shot in the face by Echo. I really wish that entire series did not happen. So even though it's canon, I'm going to tell you right now, I think that series should not be canon. We're seeing that Kingpin, he is actually trying to better himself. After he got shot by Echo, he is realizing that, look, I want to make New York, Hell's Kitchen, to be more specific. I want to make this place safe. I want to make this place healthy again. We're seeing the gang, we're seeing the crime, we're seeing the murder rate is spiking up, and I want to make this place a better place for people to live, for people to not have to be scared walking home at night. But we're also knowing that, remember, Kingpin, he always has a trick up his sleeve. There is something going on that Kingpin is not telling everybody. But come on, man, the viewers aren't that dumb. We know Kingpin, he is a slimy motherfucker. But so far, it's actually really feeling that Kingpin is actually trying to do better. And when we see the court case to convict Bullseye for the murder of Foggy, we see that Bullseye has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And I think that is a great verdict, because we need Satan's greatest soldier to never see the light of day, because this nigga was a real crash out. This nigga just did not care about anyone in his path, man. But then we see that Daredevil and Karen are reunited, and when they get reunited, we notice that Karen, she has not been trying to contact Daredevil again, even though she tries to say that Matt did initially not contact her at first, but that was only for a month. Then after that month, for 12 to 11 months, Daredevil has been constantly trying to text or call Karen, but she has been ghosting him. So this causes Daredevil and Karen's reunion to be so awkward. But after that, we see Daredevil, he now confronts Kingpin, because Daredevil, he is not buying what Kingpin is selling so far. Daredevil thinks that Kingpin is just lying out of his ass. He's talking out of his ass. But as they meet and they have this coffee date, not a date, no Diddy, but they're just basically trying to feel each other out, no Diddy. But then as they're talking, we're seeing that they are trying to not come to blows right now, because remember, the last time Daredevil and Kingpin came to blows, that shit was peak, man. But Kingpin is basically telling Daredevil that, look, I'm going to be the mayor soon, and I don't want any vigilantes in my city. I don't want any vigilantes anymore. So but if you actually come to me and you actually threaten me as a vigilante and you actually wear that suit again, there will be consequences. And Daredevil tells Kingpin as well that, yeah, look, you just need to stay in your lane. You need to actually just be good, because if you're good, then I'm good. But if you do something that's out of line, then I'll be out of line. Then, as the episode ends, we're seeing that Kingpin successfully becomes the mayor of Hell's Kitchen. We're seeing that Kingpin has successfully fooled Hell's Kitchen. We know that Kingpin is evil. We know that Kingpin has something up his sleeve, man. But it was so crazy to see Kingpin actually win. And even Daredevil cannot believe it himself, man. This first episode was straight fire. It was so good, man. I'm not even gonna lie and front. That is so crazy. Then the second episode, we now are actually introduced to the wider story that they're telling, because the episode starts off with someone who in the 616 comics, he is called Hector Ayala, aka the White Tiger. And what he is doing right now, he is just at the subway ready to go home until he's hearing somebody scream for help. And the person that he is seeing is getting beaten up by two people. So Hector, he now rushes in to try to save this person, but this person, he is actually being beaten up by the NYPD officers. And as this is going on, one officer gets accidentally killed by a train, but both NYPD officers did not reveal themselves to be officers until after the fact that one of the officers died. So now this causes Hector Ayala to get placed under arrest for murdering an NYPD officer, man. And this entire episode, we're just seeing that Matt Murdock, he is trying to defend this man. He's trying to defend Hector because he knows that Hector is innocent, but he also knows that Hector is lying about something as well. So we're seeing that Kirsten, she is not really enthusiastic with this situation. She doesn't really want Daredevil to take on this case, but Daredevil reminds Kirsten that, look, our firm, we basically are trying to uphold the sentiment that we can take on the most hardest cases ever. And as this is going on, we're seeing that simultaneously Mayor Fisk, Kingpin, he is actually winning the entire popular vote of Hell's Kitchen and New York. Everyone seems to love him, but not everyone, because he has made a lot of enemies throughout his tenure as Kingpin. So as we're looking and we're seeing the citizens of New York, we are seeing that there is one person. Her name is BB Ulrich, and BB Ulrich, she is the daughter of Ben Ulrich. And BB, she has this social media, TikTok or Snapchat or Instagram account that she is going around interviewing people of New York, and her interviews and her social media actually helped to boost Kingpin to become the mayor. So she eventually meets with Kingpin in the episode, and she really wants to see what Kingpin is about. But Kingpin, he shoos her off in a dismissive way, but he later tells his confidants that, look, we can actually use what she is trying to offer us. But Kingpin, he is proven to gain the approval of the entire city of Hell's Kitchen, man. It's so crazy seeing how they can be easily blinded by Kingpin. But one person is not easily blinded, and that is this police officer, because Kingpin, he goes to the funeral of the police officer that got killed in the subway fight between Hector Ayala, and Kingpin, he is trying to, talk to the captain and the chief, but the chief basically confronts Kingpin, and he tells Kingpin that, look, I am not going to work with you. So then the chief now double downs later in the episode and goes to Mayor Fisk's office and tells Fisk that, look, I am going to resign from my duties. But Fisk manipulates the shit out of this chief, man. He manipulates him by showing him the picture of his wife and his kid, and this causes this police officer to now rethink about resigning, and he now basically tells Kingpin, okay, you win for now, but you know that now that I'm still staying, there's going to be consequences. So man, these 2 episodes are just so crazy. I'm thinking that, wow, these niggas are cooking. But a little side plot that actually happened in episode 1, Matt was actually hooked up with this girl called Heather Glenn, and we see that this was actually because of Kirsten, but we're seeing that Heather, she is a therapist, and later in episode 2 we see that Heather, she is about to take on a new client, and that new client looks creepy. I think we'll be seeing him later in the season, but she also takes on a new client, and this new client is not actually one client, it is 2 people, and these 2 people are Mayor Fisk and his wife, because both of them have been having some marriage problems. We were alluded to by Mayor Fisk's wife as she actually had an affair with someone named Adam, so they're trying to go to therapy to fix their marriage so that Mayor Fisk can get good approval rating from marriage voters. But after this is happening, we're seeing that Daredevil, he gets a good tip that reveals Hector Ayala's identity. So after Matt confronts Hector with his identity, Matt now actually notices that, whoa, someone is actually trying to kill the real witness from the incident that caused that police officer to die. Because when Matt was following one of the officers that actually survived, Matt realized that, damn, these officers are criminals, they're crooks. So after Matt follows the officer to his house, Matt is still hearing the officer's footsteps and conversation, and the officer is heading straight for the witness. So Matt has to race there before the NYPD can get there, and when Matt, he reaches that location, he tells the witness, you have to run away now. You have 20 seconds to run away because I am a lawyer. I am trying to prove that you were actually attacked, and the NYPD are trying to cover up this case. You need to leave right now. So as the witness leaves, we see the NYPD, they bust down the door because Matt, he unlocked the door, and then the NYPD is just 2 officers. One is the same officer that is trying to basically remove this case from history, and the other is just some random police officer. So they now start to attack Matt. They are beating the shit out of him, and remember, Matt vowed to never become the Daredevil again. So when they're beating up Matt and they're about to shoot Matt in the head, Matt goes berserk, he goes crazy, he crashes out again, and he basically just fucks up the 2 police officers. He breaks their hands, he breaks their knuckles, he breaks their necks, he breaks their head, he just breaking every single bone in their body. And this is the Matt we all know and love. It seems that Matt does not love this version of Matt because remember, he vowed to never become this man again. But unfortunately, remember, Kingpin is also trying to make it a law that vigilantes cannot run in his city. So damn, these first 2 episodes are so good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think these first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again is going to give some good rapport, is going to give a lot of good faith into a lot of disgruntled MCU fans like myself, because I hope this is proven that Marvel is trying to course correct the negative and abysmal baffling decisions they have been making these last couple of years. I really hope this entire season is peak, because if every other episode of this season resembles these first 2 episodes, we are in for a treat, man. We are in for a feast. And if this track record keeps up and it not actually bleeds into the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, I think that the MCU could be back. But that's the end of the video. I'm out. Peace.